Hello and welcome to the Berg Cast. I'm your host, Brett Reed, and in this podcast series, we deep dive into the life of Division III athletes here at Heidelberg University. If you have ideas on mini games or questions we should incorporate in more episodes, please comment down below. Before I start today's episode, I want to say a big thank you for the feedback on last episode. It did great. We got a lot of comments, compliments on it, and I just can't wait to expand on more sports and people within the school. It's going to be great. It seems to be going well. Before I start this episode, I would like to note that I refer a lot to Rick's podcast, but unfortunately, I'm referring to the one that we did not use. The first one got corrupted, and I was not able to use that file. So if some of it doesn't make sense, it's probably because it's the one I deleted. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Let's get into it. Today, like the last episode, I have the opportunity to interview my close friend and teammate, David Drushal. David is a three-time cross-country state qualifier in the mile. He's a district champion at 3,200, three-time first-team all-regional, first-team all-conference, holds the 3,200 and 1,600-meter school record at Hebron Lakewood High School, and that's just in high school alone. In college, David has tallied up first-team all-OAC for cross-country and track, and was the 2020 Indoor OAC 1K champion. His 5K time currently is a 14:52, and his 8K is a 25:16. David, welcome to the show.
Shalom.
It's nice having you on. Obviously, you've racked up many accolades, so it's going to be nice learning about, just deep diving into your life and how it started. It was fun interviewing Rick because obviously you guys are on two different locations. He's obviously in Mentor and you're all the way in Hebron, so we're gonna get a little different perspective. So first question, where are you from and what's it like growing up there?
It was pretty interesting. Running through like cornfields and hills and like taking breaks in like an abandoned church for some freaking reason. It was a lot of fun. And it's different, like talking to some of the guys on the team, and then like Mitch would just be like, "Yeah, I got a smoothie from the Speedway for a break one time," and I was like, that would have been nice." Yeah, it was pretty fun. And then like obviously like we used to like we're the hometown for like the old state meet, so it was interesting. Like every time we went to a meet, we drove by the state meet, and every time like our coach was like, "All right, that's the goal, boys," and then it was just a really cool experience, like getting to like be in the hometown,
right?
But at the same time, it was all right. I'll see you in 5 minutes right before the race. Right? show up at the high school. I'll go park my car and then I'll get you in.
So is your city, you live in Hebron, right? Or do you live?
Yes and no. I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, in between like Hebron, Newark, and Heath.
Okay, so you live right in the center. I mean, I've been to your house. I've seen what it's like.
Yeah.
Very different from Sandusky. Obviously, a lot more hills, a lot more not knowing where to go. But yes, a lot of corn. That's for sure. So, second question: what was your high school like? Was it private, public, big, small?
It was I want to say medium sized. I mean, my class was like 167 or something like that.
Okay, that's not bad.
Pretty much normal high school experience. Another one of those, we didn't have a good football team schools. And then like I want to say our senior year, we got our like brand new stadium and brand new track. And it was really cool to like be the host school for conference, because we were just like this small farm town school. And then we're hosting like Granville and Watkins and Licking Heights, and all these like star runners are coming to our school, and that was a cool experience.
That's awesome. So like so you said you guys didn't have a good football team. So like what's like the totem pole? Like who's in your school, like who's at the top of athletes? Is it cross country and track, or how does that go? It's like
it's easily cross country and track. There might be some bias there, but I mean, for the past 3 years, we've sent kids to state, girls and guys teams.
Right.
Football team has been like my senior year, we perfect season 0-10. Soccer team gets to districts. What other teams do we have? Wrestling, I think they send somebody to state every once in a while.
So yeah, you have a pretty balanced. I mean, yeah, and that's exactly how my school was too. Our football team wasn't good, but we had a lot of other sports that just kind of had carried, due to the fact that we were small. But so you said you live, in the center of 3 cities. So is your school was your school in the city or was it in the country?
It was in the country. Like, we just you'd look out the window and you saw cornfields on all 4 sides. So
okay, so yeah, it makes sense. All right, so we'll move on from school and city. We'll move on. Third question: what got you interested in doing your sport? Was it family picked it up when you were little? Was it by accident? You just tried it out? How'd you get into running?
So it's kind of a mix of all of the above. My cousin ran for a school down in Kentucky, and he was like the state champion down there. Got a full ride to Western Kentucky University.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that sounds like a cool sport, but I don't think I'd ever do it. And then one time in 6th grade, we're going through like this one question that nobody is getting right, and like our teacher is just getting extremely mad, and he's like going down like the row, like one person by person, and like he's going down behind, and I'm the last row. I'm sitting in the front, and he calls on my best friend behind me, Daniel, and like he starts screaming at him that like he couldn't get it right. And then over the announcement says, if you're interested in running cross country in 7th and 8th grade, please come to the art room. And I rose my hand. I was just like, I'm gonna go go to that meeting. get out of that classroom real quick.
Get out real quick.
Then I just kind of stuck with it because like the soccer team, like I was originally playing soccer, so I was just like, oh, I'll just run cross country since like, we don't have a soccer team in middle school. And then after middle school, I'll quit cross country and join soccer again.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
Well, 8th grade, I kind of took off, and my parents wanted to let me quit cross country or join soccer.
and good choice.
Yeah.
I like the art room story.
Yeah.
That's definitely a new one. I've never heard that before. So, good runner from Hebron, obviously a little far away from Tiffin. Why Heidelberg? Why did you choose Heidelberg?
So honestly, I had like cast Heidelberg to the side because like originally it was something that I was interested in, and then I got this offer from another D2 school called Tiffin University.
Yes.
And
neighbors.
They were like, hey, we can offer you like a scholarship, blah 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 blah. And then Heidelberg called me. I went there for like a because I was in the marching band in high school, and I was just like, I could probably get some sort of music scholarship from Heidelberg if I actually tried. And I got like a $4,000 scholarship just for music at Heidelberg. And I turned around and went, hey Tiffin, you mind trying to match that? And they just went, nah, I don't think you're good enough to get more than $1,000. And then I was just like, oh. So then after like that conversation, I was still like scratching my head. Like, I mean, I could probably try and run a faster time, because they're like, hey, if you run faster than a 4:20.26, we'll give you a better scholarship and try and match you. And I was just like, okay, that seems pretty tough, because I was only like a 4:30s guy at the time.
Right.
And I say only, wow. But then Coach Green from Heidelberg called me. I was just like, hey, you want to come check us out? And I was just like, all right. Went, toured. Tim Jasper gave me a tour. Pretty much told me how it was. I just went with my mom because I told my dad, I'm probably just going to go to a school that's going to give me a scholarship anyway, blah, 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 blah. And then Tim was just like, yeah, he had basically bashed the idea of scholarships. Not like bashed, but like he had said
Yeah,
said something
classic
to
Tim.
me along the lines of like, hey, like if you go to a school with a scholarship, you can't focus on like your future and what you want to be, and it's basically going to feel like a job, and you're not like a lot of athletes won't like it, and that's why a lot of athletes will transfer out of D1 and D2. And I was just like, well, shit.
Sold.
And um, and like I called my dad and I was like, so slight problem. Think I want to go to Heidelberg.
Hey.
Stayed the night. And it basically felt like I was already going to this school. Basically left Tim's room, walked up to Brian right before he got on the bus to go to the All Ohio Championships, and was like, "Hey, where's the intent form?"
And me and Rick legit agree upon like Heidelberg, like you just have like that family feeling.
Oh, easily. Like I talked to some of the guys from different schools, and it did not feel the same. Like,
right, I understand
like
completely.
it is a completely different atmosphere here, and like I love that we can just be joking around and be a family, and then like right before we're on the line for a workout, it's completely flipped.
It's go time.
And then like we'll say like one joke to like break the tension, like yeah, or something along those lines. But
yeah,
it's just funny. Oh, it's just funny to me because like Tiffin was like, yeah, if you run faster than 4:26, we'll give you a better scholarship. I signed for Heidelberg, and then like 3 meets later, I went 4:24 and then 4:21 back to back.
Damn, they're probably scratching their heads and like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and then the email from Tiffin comes in with hey, we can offer you $2,500, and I was like, nope, going to Heidelberg. Sorry, buddy.
Oh yeah, they offered you that much? Come on.
Yeah,
that's funny. So me and Rick, just before we move into the mini game, I want to say one thing. So it's funny because me and Rick were talking about like the family aspect. It's crazy because we were talking about the group chats, and you know I brought that up to like one of my friends at school. She plays softball. I was like, yeah, like our team has this group chat. Like we talk in it every day. Like even if we're joking, if we're actually being serious, or we just want to have a conversation, like we just text. And she's like, "Are you serious?" Like I don't think any other team has that on our campus. Like no one just like talks like that, like you guys do. I was like, yeah, and like it's awesome. Like we eat together. We do a lot of things together.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to try and sneak in the H-man this year.
No, you have to. Yeah. All right, so we'll move on. We had a couple questions knocked down, so now we're going to move to a mini game. This first mini game is called Guess Who. I'm going to send you 3 pictures of current teammates on the team. So no graduates. So like Dylan, Logan, none of those guys.
Oh boy.
But I'm gonna send you 3 current runners, and you have to try to guess who they are. I'll give you 2 chances per person. All right, you ready?
All right.
Here is the first picture. Can you guess who this is? Rick had a little bit of trouble on the last episode guessing who it was, so I try to make it a little bit easy. Wow. That's exactly right. It's Clay. All right. Rick went over 3. Sorry, Rick, you've already been topped. So let's see if David can be the new record holder.
Clay wears Carreras.
Yep, that is Clay. All right. Next person. Here we go.
Frick. Trevor.
It is Trevor. Trevor Hawkins. I tried to make this one a little bit easier since Rick's was so hard, but I hope this last one can stump you a little bit.
All right.
Here we go. Last one. Can he go 3 for 3? Last one.
Mitch Lucan.
Final guess?
Hmm?
All right. It is Nate.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, Nate's, now that I think about it, like Mitch does have that long stride.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that you said that, like I can't unsee that that's Mitch's legs.
Well, that's his spikes too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
The only reason why I know that is because like Mitch Hunter and I like opened up our spikes and we all looked at each other and then we all looked down at matching spikes and we were like,
That's
I didn't know Nate had those.
Hey, new record holder. of the series. You went 2-3, better than Rick's 0-3. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I will now have to compliment Nate on his stride every single time I see him now.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're moving on to one more question before another mini game. This fifth question is, what is the biggest transition you had or made from high school to college? Was it, some examples could be like eating healthier, sleeping better, time management, just training in general?
So the biggest first one I noticed was I actually ran over the summer.
Okay.
So in high school, I just kind of relied on raw talent. I was one of those idiots that just went, oh, I don't need to run over the summer. I'm pretty quick. And I can build up quick. Usually my first run back is usually 5 or 6 miles because that's just what my body's used to, is doing something like that. But I never ran over this summer, and the results showed as soon as I stepped on campus pretty much. That first time trial that we did, it I PR'd in the 2 mile.
Wow.
And it was amazing to do that. And then freshman year with Eli, Coach Kaczynski, I sat down with this plate of what I normally ate, which is usually chicken and ranch or something not usually healthy. And Eli just looks at me, picks up my plate, throws it away, fills up with salad and all this other stuff, and then sits it down and pulled you're not leaving until you eat your vegetables. And I was like, all right, never had vegetables before. I don't know how I did what I did with eating the way I was. And then after after doing a week of a different diet, my time dropped by over a minute. It was insane to see. And then time management, we're first time away from home. You don't know what time management is until next thing you know, your 4-week long assignment that your professor says should take at least 5 is due tomorrow, and you haven't started. So that was a fun learning curve. But that was really the only difference I noticed for me. That and probably a slight jump in mileage, but I think my high school coach had a good idea of where I was going to be in college. So my senior year, he had bumped up my mileage by a little bit.
Okay, so I'm sure you got prepared well for your freshman year. Yeah, that's good. That's always good. I feel like, summer. I could even agree with that. That summer training really just, we had when I started, my first year I didn't do summer training, but then as we moved on, we actually did do some summer mileage, and then obviously when you get to college, your summer mileage is obviously doubled, if not tripled. So that's a great one. And that and time management, eating better, that's all great for you. So with that knocked out of the way, we're gonna do the next segment. It's called Top 3. I had you send me your favorite pictures of you, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show them to you, and we're gonna talk about what makes the picture so great, what the memory is. We'll just talk about it basically. So I know there's a picture of me with you in here, so I'm gonna say that for the last one, but we'll do these other ones first. So this one, we'll start with this one. As you can see, David, and for people who don't know who this is, non-runners, also Cal Yakin from Otterbein. What makes this picture so great? What's the memory behind this? Do you recall?
This is the moment, I'm surprised, I think Mitch's mom took this photo. It was either Mitch's mom or my mom, but this was the exact moment where I was all right, it's time to go for the 1K. And I was still kind of just sitting behind David from BW and Cal, and I was just I have a pretty strong 300-meter kick. Everybody's probably going to do a 200-meter kick on the last lap, so I'll get the jump on the gun. And as you can see, my foot is on the inside of the track.
Yeah.
And right after this photo was taken, I had basically jumped over cow's legs and just sent it. And
So
this is just like the moment where I took off, and it's easily one of my favorite running photos ever.
This picture is great because like your form looks good, and like the tattoo is just lighting up. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
It's golden hour.
Dude, it was golden hour. I mean, Mitch's mom did a great job of just capturing like the tattoo, like right in the light. I mean, it just looks like a good picture. So move on to the next one. This one is obviously a cross country picture. What's the story behind this one? What's the race?
This is Oberlin, and this was like the first time because I had broken into the 25s at our home meet, and I want to say this is the meet after. This is the meet after 2 meets after. So I had a pretty rough race at All Ohio. We all did. Brian and Eli made us do core afterwards, which is not a good sign.
Was it weather? Or just?
Yeah, it was extremely hot. None of us ran well. That and like they were just like, yeah, take it out slow, and then we all just took it out super hot. Yeah. But this was at Oberlin, and basically like I just dropped like 40 seconds, and I went like 25:17, whatever 8K PR I told you was what I hit, and that like jumped me up to like 7th on the all-time list, and it's honestly one of my favorite courses too, and I'm kind of sad that we're not going back to it.
Yeah, so hey, we're going to New Jersey this year.
We are going to New Jersey.
Man, you can't beat that. You can't beat New Jersey.
You cannot beat that.
That is awesome. I cannot wait. I think I'll probably do a vlog or something there.
Oh, easily.
All right, and this is the last picture. This is the one I'm in. I'll just give my little overview of this real quick. So basically, the only reason why I'm not going to talk about the picture, I'll have David do that, but I just love this picture. I've always loved this picture because if you see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Heidelberg people in one picture. And it's just crazy. Like, look at that. You have that whole line. And then if you can see, Rick is right in between David and I believe the Wilmington kid. So, I mean, I just love that just for that reason. But David, I know the story, but go ahead and explain this picture.
So this is the 1500 at our first home meet. First or second home meet.
Yeah,
it was the first meet. First meet I was back.
Yeah.
And it was like 1500. I was like coming off of a mixture of an injury and COVID, and basically Brett and you and Trevor had me boxed, and I'd gotten around Trevor, and I was like, all right, Brett, right. And like you just like glided to the right.
I just slowly transitioned over.
See ya.
So yeah, it was funny because when we started before the race, Coach Connor was like, Brett, get out hot. These guys are gonna box you in. I was like, okay. So get out hot. And I think I'm like around first place, like just obviously that's the start of the picture. So obviously me and David are in first and second. But yeah, I just without even hesitation, didn't even think about it. I just heard right, and my body just glided over. Like I didn't even think. Like, look how determined I am. Still, I didn't even think about it. I just glided over, and you just slid past me, and then the race moved on. So
yeah, that was a fun race.
That was a fun race. I think we IPR. I know IPR'd for a fact that race, and I believe you did as well.
I think I IPR'd. Technically, IPR'd. We did the time trial that fall, and I basically tied the time. So it was really cool because I basically had been training for like a week.
Yeah, I mean, I know how much you. I remember finishing, and you were very excited that that you had come back. I mean, I was excited for you because I remember that picture of you and Mitch hugging, and it was just great. So.
Oh yeah, that's also one of my favorite photos.
I love that. I know
that one framed actually.
It was an amazing race. It was nice to see you come back. I mean, we all knew you had it. Just when was it ready? But
yeah,
it was a great race nonetheless. So, all right, that was the end of that segment. We're gonna move on to the 6th question. So, what motivates you to do your sport? Like, what keeps you going right now in college?
Honestly, teammates.
Yeah.
And school pride is like.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I understand
my motivations is just like, I love like being able to finish a race and just like hit my chest and like do like the like Hulkmania thing where you just like
Yeah,
look
flick
like
the
you're
jersey a
carrying a
little bit
jersey, but
too.
you're actually just like highlighting your school.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite things to do. Like if you win, is just like Heidelberg
I
and
mean,
like
I agree.
that and like I want to personally I want to be a sub 25 guy in the 8K and I want to get further into the 14s and like break some school records and just kind of like put Heidelberg's name out there as like, hey, we're not some D3 school to be messed with. Like, I mean, you have JCU, which is just on another level in
Yeah,
D3, and then you have all
exactly.
the other OAC schools. Which, if you took any of the OAC schools and put them in a different conference, they'd probably still be dominating, unless it was North Central.
I believe so. I mean, yeah, I mean our conference, people I feel like we get a little bit underappreciated because people think we're a D3 school, but when you look
Yeah.
at the talent inside our conference, it's we had guys break records this year. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, records haven't been broken for a while, and it was just great to experience that.
Like it's weird to think that like my freshman year, seventh place was 15 flat, and
Wow.
now like you're not in the first heat if you're 15 flat.
I know. Tell me about it. I ran the freaking 15:30, and I was like
Yeah.
20th. It was like 18th, I think. But all right, well, that's a great answer. I mean, I've personally always thought that representing your school was like the biggest thing. I mean, obviously, I loved St. Mary's. You probably loved Hebron as well. I mean, just representing our high schools is just as important as representing our college. So I completely agree with you on that one. We're going to move on to the last mini game, and then we're going to have two more questions. So almost near the end. This mini game is called "Who Do You Think?" So I'm going to give us a scenario. I haven't even thought about these yet, so I just picked them offline, copied and pasted them, and then so me and you are going to try to figure out together one person who matches the scenario. So we
All
can
right.
just think about anybody. So like example, last time, I think we said like who would do something dumb to appear on the news. And me and Rick both agreed that it'd be Nate. so, so, so it's gonna be like scenarios like that. So the first one is, who do you think is most likely to catch Hman on fire? Um, to
Dude,
that, I have no idea.
I feel like the one kid that has the like skills to be able to do that and the oh, what if we did this would be Connor.
I feel like it would be Connor.
It would definitely be
Connor would
Connor.
probably
Like
throw something in a waffle maker and then it'd probably just catch on fire.
yeah. Oh, guys, you're so stupid. Watch this.
No hate, Connor. We're just saying that you're probably the only person to catch Hman on fire.
Honestly, he probably is the only one that has like the skills on the team. I mean, like when I joined, it was me and like 3 other Eagle Scouts. So it could have been any one of those 4, and now I think it's just going to be Connor.
No, it's just Connor. All right. So next one is, who do you think is most likely to carry a pen on them at all times?
Carry a pen on them at all times.
Carry a pen on them. I have to think. All right. I would say, who's like the brainiac? Like who's like really smart? I feel like almost Josh.
I feel
No.
like,
Uh,
because like Josh is super smart, Mitch is super smart, but I've seen both of them been like, "Yo, you got a pen?" all the time.
so maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe like Matt wouldn't carry a pen on him. I'm trying to just
Well, Matt is also an artist.
I
So
like the connection here.
it could be Matt because like he'd always have like a utensil or something that he's drawing with all
Okay.
the time.
I can agree with Matt on this one.
Yeah, I can go
All
with Matt
right.
on that one.
All right. So we got Matt and Connor. And the last one is, who do you think would be chased by campus security for something dumb?
uh,
If we don't use Connor, I
I
would
was
say
about to
Connor.
say, can we put Connor twice?
But if not, okay, since we already used Connor, the next person I think I would have to use is, I feel like it's gotta be Trevor.
Yeah.
Like, Trevor would steal like a hubcap or something from a person's car.
Trevor or like.
I really can't see
Hmm.
like anybody. Like, not that I can't
Wow.
think of anybody else. It's just that I don't think like Tyler, obviously, no.
No.
Clay, no. Rick. I mean, I couldn't really. Ethan, no. I really couldn't imagine like any of those guys.
No,
Just
I can't imagine that.
hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
I mean,
surely not
it
us.
probably if it's not one of the guys, it'd probably be an entire team.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, we probably all just do something dumb and then just get chased by someone.
Get chased and be like, "Go Dragons! Cover up your tattoo."
Yo, who sings Radioactive? All right, next question. Seventh question. We have this one and one more to go, and then we'll wrap it up. Seventh question is best sport memory you have at Heidelberg. What race, workout, any sport memory you've had at Heidelberg, what comes to mind?
Best sport memory you had at Heidelberg. Ooh. There's a lot.
Yeah,
I probably have to say like, probably like got it. So, last cross country season that we actually ran, we're getting ready for our the 800 by mile or the loops that we do at Hedges Boyer for the 800s and the 1Ks. I couldn't remember which workout we were doing that day, but we're on the line, and then Eli just goes, "Hey boys," and we all looked over, and he was like, "You're now 9th in the region. You're impressing some people," and we were like, "Yo, let's go!" And I was like, "All right, ready, go!" And just that moment was like easily one of my favorite ones because like we had broken the top 10 in the first time in like I don't know how many years just for the list, and then we actually went and did it at regionals. We beat out ONU by a point, got them back, and yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, Rick said the same thing. He said that regionals was probably one of his, favorite memories. And I mean, I'm just a freshman. I haven't made there yet. Yet is the key word. So I don't know what that experience is like. And so, obviously it's way different than high school because it's a whole different level. So, obviously regionals is a huge thing, especially for you. And you were close to making it out, right? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I was the first person to not go.
Yeah, you were the first person to not go. That's what it was. Which
That
is,
was,
that's still an that's still an accomplishment of in of itself because you didn't go, but you were right there.
Yeah.
So it's always something to build off of.
Yeah, and I mean Brian and Austin and Eli still took me for the experience of nationals to kind of get ready for it.
Good. Yeah, and how was that experience?
It was pretty cool actually. We went to the national I don't want to say it's a convention, but you go out and you have dinner the night before, and there's an award ceremony for all the regionals, and then Austin and I just kind of chilled in an Airbnb on the Ohio River.
That's awesome.
And then there was just one time I was sitting there watching a movie with Brian, and then Austin just goes, "Hey, I think the river's flowing backwards." And for 20-30 minutes we're looking at a map, looking up at the water, looking back down at the map and going, "I don't think it's actually going that way. It just kind of looks like it's flowing that way." It's no, it's definitely flowing that way.
That's
Brian, which way is the water flowing?
All right. So I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad you had that experience. It's definitely we're gonna make it to regionals this year. It's gonna be awesome. I gotta have that confidence,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I mean, really, I talked to Austin about it, and I think the reason why we're going to New Jersey is because that is where the competition is.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do well there and we get, say, 5th at regionals,
Yeah.
because of us performing well in New Jersey, we could get that move on to go ahead to go to nationals
Wow.
from 5th.
That's crazy.
But we should still try.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. All right. So we have one more question, and then I'll have one more thing to say before we end. So, last question. If you had any advice for the incoming freshmen, what would it be?
High school times are out the window.
Agreed.
You could be like a 17 flat guy as a freshman, and you can easily be the best on the team coming in. Like I wouldn't say my head was big when I came in, but I was just like, oh, I'm a 16 flat guy. Like I should be here, blah, 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 blah. And that was like a learning, like that was a humbling moment, like real quick, was when I ran my first 8K, came through in like a 17:20, and I was just like, oh, so this is actually going to be kind of hard. And it was just a quick humbling moment after the first race. And then I was just like, high school times don't matter at all. Like, I don't care if you're a 16 flat guy or if you're a 18 flat guy. Like, you can definitely be good as long as you're putting in work and you're like basically just like
Doing things that you need to do.
doing things you need to do, doing the like additional 24 hours.
Following the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great advice. I would say the same thing myself. Obviously, those other 22 hours of the day are very crucial. So that's great. I couldn't have said it any better, basically. Mm-hmm. So before I end, I just wanted to say that, I do this with every episode. I basically just like tell the viewers like what I thought about you, some memories we've had together. So I just want to touch on, before I came to the school, obviously I had to do my my visit and stuff like that. And the coaches were always like, yeah, we have this guy named David on our team, great runner, great kid. And I'm like, yo, like, who is this guy? Like, I need to know who this is. And then quickly met you, figured out you were a great guy. You're great. You talked to me. I remember you talking to me on my visit. You wore glasses and a backwards hat. I definitely remember that. And we just clicked ever since. We've been friends. We've talked on Snapchat. And I think my favorite memory that me and you have shared this year was definitely the OAC 5K. I can't like unsee that race. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite races of all time. I think about it all the time when I do workouts. Like just to be behind you and Ian Pearson was just, it was a great experience for me. And you told me before that race to just stay with you, and I just thought, I couldn't. I just didn't think I was, capable of doing that because of how high I thought you were going to go out. But you went out at a steady pace, and I stayed right with you for about maybe like 2 miles, maybe like 7 laps. But you carried me through what I needed to get through, and then I had the rest of myself to just finish it off. And I'm very grateful for that. And you and Dylan have been great mentors for me for the whole year. So thank you for that. and thank you for letting me interview today.
Of course.
That's all we got for today's episode. For those who followed along, thank you, and we'll catch you in the next one.